Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. We just want to bring you some interesting news, and thank you, subscriber, for showing me. But it did pop up all over my feed yesterday after you sent it to me. Well, this is pretty interesting. A Kentucky sheriff who allegedly, it's not allegedly, guys, who shot and killed a judge faced allegations of ignoring deputies' abuse of women in his chambers. Deputies never do that stuff. Come on. Police never abuse women. This is dated September 20th, 2024. CBS News Online, for anybody that's interested. And please hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow. Get the message out there. So let's read on here. This is the judge who was unalived, age 54. He was a judge for 15 years. Now, I'm not saying he was a good judge. I'm not saying he was a bad judge, but nevertheless, some sheriff took this guy's life. Just sucked the life right out of him. Just shot him. Why? Well, I've read the comments online. Somebody said it's because one was more corrupt than the other. Somebody knew something that the other one didn't want known. Of course, I thought it was some gang stalking thing, or, you always figure somebody's sleeping with somebody's wife. But hey, the judge was going to probably rule against one of these deputies. And the sheriff was like, no. We had a dealie. No, you have to protect. You have to toe the thin blue line like everybody else and protect us abusers. Okay, so the sheriff who allegedly shot and killed a rural Kentucky judge in his courthouse chambers was accused in a federal lawsuit of failing to investigate allegations that one of his deputies repeatedly sexually abused a woman in the same judge's chambers. Well, you know what? Thank you, Judge, for standing up to anybody that sexually abuses a woman. And you know what? He probably sexually abused a woman in your chambers, and she probably worked for you. And he thought that he was just going to get away with it, right? Well, guess what? So the sheriff stuck up for the deputy, but now the sheriff is going to jail, and he's being charged with first-degree unaliving. So, okay, so here we go. Letcher County Sheriff Shawn M. Stines has been charged with murder in the first degree in Thursday's shooting. The preliminary investigation indicates that Stines, age 43, and for anybody who's not interested in astrology, as the Uranus opposition, something was going on in his birth chart, shot District Judge Kevin Mullins multiple times, not once, multiple times, following an argument inside the courthouse, according to Kentucky State Police. I'm telling you, you can't even have a discussion with some people these days. You can't have an argument with somebody without something like this happens. So this sheriff was trigger happy. And he had no problem shooting, not once, not twice, but many times. And we'll find out. We'll find out how many times. So he shot the judge. He wasn't happy that the judge was defending this sexually abused woman by one of the Letcher County Sheriff's deputies. Okay? So anyway, let's move on here. The preliminary investigation indicates that Stines, age 43, shot District Judge Kevin Mullins multiple times following an argument inside the courthouse, according to Kentucky State Police. Mullins, 54, that's a Chiron return, by the way, just for anybody who's interested in astrology, even if you're not. 54 is the Chiron return. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's a long story. We'll get into another time. Mullins, 54, who held the judgeship for 15 years, died at the scene. Imagine just going to work, ending your day, being confronted by the sheriff, and getting bang, bang, banged, and never going home to your family again. He died at the scene. And Stines surrendered without incident. Well, I mean, come on. What were you going to say? Were you going to plead innocence? Not guilty? You're going to plead not guilty? Come on. I'm sure even those bullets can be traced back to your loaded weapon. Just what the two men were arguing about wasn't immediately made clear. We know that it was an argument between the two that led up to, but what exactly transpired prior to the shots being fired, that's still things that we're trying to get answers to. The Kentucky State Police trooper Matt Gayhart told reporters Thursday night. So Gayhart called the shooting an isolated incident. Stines was deposed on Monday in a lawsuit. So that's Stines is the sheriff. He was deposed on Monday in a lawsuit filed by two women, one of whom alleged that a deputy forced her to have sex inside Mullins' chambers for 6 months. 6 months in exchange for staying out of jail. The lawsuit accuses the sheriff of deliberate indifference, of failing to adequately train and supervise the deputy. Oh, come on, guys. It goes way beyond training and supervision of deputies. This is called rape. This is called... this is disgusting. And the sheriff is protecting his deputy for having sex, for forcing two women to have sex, for staying out of jail? I don't know. That's some kind of coercion. I don't know. What is it called, guys? It's called something. Extortion. Right? He's extorting sex from these two women by saying that they'll stay out of jail. Well, why would you be sending them to jail? Maybe they weren't even supposed to go to jail. Maybe you're just wanting to have sex and holding the jail over them like a little carrot, a little form of harassment. Well, someone, guess what? The lawsuit accuses the sheriff of deliberate indifference, of failing to adequately train and supervise the deputy, the now former deputy sheriff. Former deputy, Ben Fields. He's pleading guilty to raping the female prisoner while she was on home incarceration. Fields was sentenced this year to 6 months in jail and then 6.5 years on probation. Oh, goodness. For rape, sodomy, perjury, and tampering with a prisoner monitoring device. Wow. The Mountain Eagle reported this. 3 charges related to a second woman were dismissed. She's dismissed. Guess why? Because she's dead. 3 charges related to the second woman were dismissed because she's no longer here. Wow. Wouldn't you like to know how she passed away? Wow. Talk about tampering with evidence. Wow. Stines fired Fields, who was his successor as Mullins' bailiff, for quote-unquote conduct unbecoming after the lawsuit was filed in 2022. The Courier-Journal reported at that time. The killing of the judge sent shockwaves through the tight-knit Appalachian town. Whitesburg is the county seat of government, with about 1,700 residents located about 145 miles southeast of Lexington. Rather than hold the sheriff in the local jail, authorities booked Stines into the Leslie County Detention Center, 2 counties away, where he remained Friday morning. Oh, is that like considered protective custody? Is that what they call that? Hey, do you want to see what the sheriff looks like? Here, come here. Come see the sheriff. I'm telling you guys, they're criminals. Nobody believes me. They're criminals. Look at him. Smug and all. So he protected his deputy, and now he unalived the judge. You know what? Honestly, when I heard this, I can foresee this happening more often. Because I guarantee these guys are making deals under and over the table, and karma is coming around to get them. Carmageddon is the new word order. Lee County Prosecutor Matt Butler described an outpouring of sympathy as he recursed himself and his office from the investigation, citing social and family ties to Mullins. We all know each other here. Anyone from Letcher County would tell you that Judge Mullins and I married sisters. And we have children who are first cousins, but with their act like siblings, Butler said in a statement from his office. And for that reason, among others, I have already taken steps to recuse myself and my entire office. Well, guess what, folks? We've got the same thing going on here, right here in Jackson County, exactly where I live. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's sleeping with everybody's married to other people. Everybody's having affairs with everybody else. Everybody's doing it with everybody and protecting each other. Everybody's protecting each other just like this. Exactly like this. Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman, you know who he is? He's the new Attorney General. He's a former FBI guy. Said his office will collaborate with the Commonwealth Attorney in the region as special prosecutors in the criminal case. Mullins was hit multiple times in the shooting, state police said. Well, come on, guys. If a sheriff doesn't know how to shoot that weapon, nobody does, right? He knew exactly what he was doing, and it probably didn't take more than once to unalive the guy. I mean, he's 54. He was 54 years old, right? So, you know, he had a little impulse control issue there. I want to know how many is multiple times. All right, multiple. So that to me is more than 2 or 3. We will fully investigate and pursue justice, quote unquote, Coleman said on social media. So he's the new Attorney General that I'll be writing to real soon. Kentucky Supreme Court Chief Justice Lawrence B. Van Meter said he was, quote, shocked by this act of violence, unquote, and that the court system was, quote unquote, shaken by this news. Letcher County's judge executive closed the county courthouse on Friday, which is today. It was unclear whether Stines had an attorney. State police referred inquiries to a spokesperson who did not immediately respond by email. There's far too much violence in this world, and I pray there's a path to a better tomorrow, Governor Andy Beshear posted in response to the shooting. Oh, come on, Andy. Oh, come on. There is way too much violence in this world. I'll make sure to copy you on my next complaint to the Attorney General. Mullins served as a district judge in Letcher County since he was appointed by former Governor Steve Beshear in 2009 and elected the following year. And I heard that was a rigged election. Just saying, it's just hearsay. What do I know? I'm from New Jersey. Anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, bringing you Kentucky news. I'm sure that you'd be interested in this. And for all those people that go along to get along, just wait. Your turn is on its way every day. This is just one of many. I'm sure there's going to be more of this stuff happening. Gonna say, just saying. I'm usually right about these things, just saying. Oh, and you know what came to mind? And somebody else wrote on a post. And after I responded to him, he said, I thought I was the only one that knew what it meant. And the quote was, I shot the sheriff, but I did not kill no deputy. I shot the sheriff, but I swear it wasn't self-defense. And that was written by Mr. Eric Clapton. Ta-da! Signing off for now.